So today I'm going to be talking about the dangers of using counterfeit makeup and why it's been such an epidemic in these last few years. So you must be wondering, what's the big deal in using counterfeit makeup? We're already doing that with Louis Vuitton wallets, Michael Kors purses, and Cartier rings. So why not makeup? So of course there is a obvious difference between the two things. One of them obviously being that makeup does in fact go on your face, and this just creates a more higher likelihood of causing health-related risks and negative side effects to yourself, the long-term effects. And it is mindful to know what makeup is real and what is fake. And regardless of how cheap something is online or at a flea market, it doesn't necessarily mean you are snagging a deal. And as a makeup lover, as myself, I have to be aware of what's going on my face, simply because if I were to wear counterfeit makeup, I can easily have a negative side effect. And so when buying counterfeit makeup, you are more susceptible to germs, to bacteria from these fake makeup products. And so in other words, if you were to buy a $4 Kat Von D lipstick from eBay, it doesn't necessarily mean you are getting it for cheaper. There could be something wrong with the makeup product itself, or in fact, it's counterfeit. And so just to spread more awareness about counterfeit makeup as a whole, in 2015, there was a statement released by police saying that some fake eyeliners, mascaras, lip glosses, and foundations being sold online contained arsenic, mercury, lead, and above all, rat droppings. And despite this horrific news given to the public, in 2018, counterfeit makeup is still prevalent. For instance, one of the most biggest events that did occur was in California in one of their shopping districts that did disclose that around roughly 700,000 worth of knockoff makeup was being sold, and it was confirmed that these products did have a high level of feces and bacteria, and this was only after the complaints that were given by those consumers who did in fact buy these products, such as rashes and bumps on their face. And so the police did in fact seize these fake makeup products. Some examples of the products being seized were MAC, Urban Decay, and Kylie Cosmetics. And so why is this still happening now? Well, we live in a society where everyone is obsessed with the idea of beauty, to be perfect. And the makeup industry itself is worth around $445 billion, and that in fact does lead to a much more higher demand in makeup. And fake makeup, not saying that is not prevalent in drugstore, but it is. It's more so seen in high-end brands simply because more people desire seeing that product rather than having a drugstore counterfeit makeup product. Such examples would be Too Faced, It Cosmetics, or even Tarte. And due to social media influences from A-list celebrities, it causes a lot of pressure on its consumers. If they believe that if they want to be as beautiful as that woman who is wearing that Yves Saint Laurent lipstick, then they should go with any means necessary to obtain that product, even if it is a fake. So an example would be this picture right here. This woman bought a fake Kylie Cosmetics lipstick from a flea market, and she in fact received chemical burns. And the reason why she even posted this picture to begin with was to warn the public about unofficial replica products. And instead of creating awareness, it created people to start pointing fingers at Kylie Jenner and her makeup brand as a whole, saying that essentially just ruining the brand's integrity and reputation. Later, she did in fact release a statement and claimed that if anyone were to buy her products, it had to be through her official website to actually obtain that authentic product. And so this is pretty heavy on its consumers' pockets, simply because, of course, high-end makeup, probably the most cheapest thing that you can get from them is $20. And this causes people to gravitate towards websites such as AliExpress, eBay, and at times flea markets that do claim these makeup products are real when in fact they are counterfeit. And so it's pretty obvious that it never does end well. So why is this still happening? As stated before, people can't afford these expensive products. People are more concerned about the price rather than the consequences of buying fake makeup, or in fact, just not realizing it's fake makeup to begin with. So although a fake makeup product sometimes is safe, it doesn't necessarily mean that you can be at risk. So just because in their ingredients they do claim this is what's on there, does not necessarily mean the product contains that same exact thing. There could be harmful chemicals that are in there. So alternatives would be simply going to the drugstore and buying dupes. And it is pretty much, I should mention that 9 out of 10 times these counterfeiters are using exploited laborers and underpaid laborers, and the work conditions that they are in attribute to the negative reactions people get from using these fake counterfeit products. So think twice before buying a fake makeup product. Just because a Fenty Beauty foundation is $12 does not necessarily mean it's the real thing, when in fact it is $34. So as they say, if it is too good to be true, then it probably is. And so that concludes my presentation.